So we got the OneUp Aluminium pedal. This has been on this Remedy the whole time I've had it, so no need to change the pedals, they're quite good. Aluminium version of the OneUps. I've spoken a little bit about the plastic version or the composite versions. They're pretty good. The only thing I don't like about the composites is in the center here it raises up a bit, and the plastic also has this pin here, but it does feel a little bit slippery. The plastic ones feel a little bit slippery in the middle when your weight isn't completely loaded and spread across the pedal. So I like a pedal that's concave. This isn't concave as such. I mean, from the top of the pin to that baseline in the middle, it's it's a bit low. You can see that it's quite a bit lower, but your feet sink into these pins and end up on there. Now these pins have got excellent grip, so they're similar to the ones that I had on the race face pedals, which are really good. I like the grip on the race face pedals. Race face pedals are a good size. These are a little bit bigger. They feel like they stand out a little bit wider, maybe a little bit longer as well. So 115 by 105 is the official dimensions, 355 grams, so quite light, which is actually the same weight as their plastic version, but you have this big inboard bearing. So if you were, say here in Adelaide, you've got this inside line downhill club, we use crank trailers there, and you won't be able to get this on the crank trailer, so something to think about if you're looking at buying them. You're not going to be able to get them on the trailers at the races. Outside of that, they feel good, they're smooth. Not too sure how old these are, I'm saying not very old. They don't have many scratches or dings on them. Got one here. Outside of that, they're in pretty good nick. Grip's excellent. Climbing up the hill, not too bad. Eventually I was getting a little bit of a hot spot from that center bit there. I do prefer my foot because of the natural shape of your foot. So have a look at this hoof. You kind of got high spot and then the lowest spot, and then it's high spot again. Just here, which is where the center of that pedal sits, that should be the lowest point of your pedal in order to mimic the shape of your foot. But some of these pedals, to accommodate the axle and whatnot and still keep them thin, they've gone thin on the sides and then obviously only as thin as they can go in the center, so you end up with this almost slightly convex shape, which I'm not a fan of. But overall they felt really good. Heaps of grip. Like I said, the pins are killer. They feel okay. OneUp are fairly reputable now, so they've built a lot of good stuff and I like them. Maybe a bit bigger than I would need. I did scratch it on the side of a couple of off cambers, but I think partially due to that 170 crank. I'm used to the 165s obviously. I wouldn't run a 170 on anything but a commuter. Outside of that, pedals are killer. So strong, robust, light. They look good. The pins are killer for grip. Yeah, that's a big plus. And yeah, long rides. That convex center didn't really annoy me too much. So yeah, spot on OneUp. They're not too bad. My perfect pedal still is a concave. It'll be the nuke proof with the race face pins is my perfect pedal. But yeah, thanks again Brian for letting me borrow the bike and demo the pedals and all that stuff, so cool.